Okay, tonight's lesson is over 9.6, so it's less than 9.6 squared, and it's over the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula helps you solve quadratic equations that look like this: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. You saw those today in class, and that's what we've dealt with. But the quadratic formula helps you solve them. So let's say it's x equals, and it's the opposite of b, or minus b, there's a negative out front, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and that is all over 2a. It's not just the root, but all of the top part is over 2a. So let's say I gave you this problem, and it's x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. I would tell you to label your a, b, and c. So a is actually 1, because there's an implied 1 in front of the x squared. B is negative 5, and c is 6. So when you go to do the quadratic formula, I ask that you only use parentheses for your letters at first. So do x equals the opposite parentheses, plus or minus the square root of parentheses squared minus 4, and then 2 sets of parentheses, all over 2 times parentheses. Now, the first letter that you have to plug in is your b, which is negative 5. So you're going to put it here, and you're also going to put it first thing inside the root. And then after your minus 4, you've got to put your a. And we did the b squared minus 4ac today in class. So you're going to do a, which is 1, and c, which is 6. And don't forget it's all over 2a, so it's all over 2 times 1. Now when you go to simplify this, you've got negative of negative 5, which is going to be x equals positive 5, plus or minus the square root of negative 5 when it's squared is going to be 25. And there's only one minus sign, so it's going to be minus 4 times 1 times 6, which is 24. So it's going to be 25 minus 24. And it's going to be all over 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. So then this is going to be equal to 5 plus or minus the square root of, well, 25 minus 24 is 1, all over 2. What you do now is you say, okay, the square root of 1 is just 1, so I'm going to go ahead and erase my little root symbol. And then what you have to do is, because you have this plus or minus right here, you have to separate it. You need to do 5 plus 1 over 2 and 5 minus 1 over 2. And that is going to give you 6 over 2, which is 3. I'll put it over here, I'll erase. And put it over here. 6 over 2 equals 3. And 4 over 2, which equals 2. So you write your answer as x equals 2, 3, because you've got 2 answers. Now we're going to try plugging those answers in and seeing that they work out. Alright, now we're going to test it. It's x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. And we're going to try plugging in x equals 2. So that's going to be 2 squared minus 5 times 2 plus 6. And we're going to see if that actually does equal 0. So 2 squared is 4 minus 5 times 2 is 10, and then plus 6. This would be negative 6 plus 6, so it does equal 0. So x equals 2 is one of our answers. I'm going to erase this, and then we're going to try x equals 3. Okay, so 3 squared minus 5 times 3 plus 6, we're going to see if it equals 0. So 9 minus 15 plus 6. Your 9 and your 6 equal 15, so it's like 15 minus 15. Doesn't matter what order you add them in. And you're going to get that this equals 0. So x equals 3 also works. That's why we have 2 answers. X equals 2 and x equals 3.